just in, Bitcoin went to 81K and your retirement fund is basically liquidated. We're all poor. We don't have any money left in the crypto market, and Bitcoin is going to probably dump until it goes to 10K. I mean, this is some serious stuff. Let's cut the BS now, guys. Listen, I just want to break the ice and break the bad mood. Look, things aren't looking good for Bitcoin and price at this stage. So we're going to spend some time with Bitcoin, and then we're going to look at Zcash and everything around that as well. And let's just see where we're at, where we can find and make some money. I'll also look at bringing up next week some fundamental analysis that, buy and hold and so forth, those kind of spot ownership guys, and see how they make money in the bear market. Because from a trader point of view, it's easy. We just short. We don't care whether it goes up or down. We try and make money around that. But if you're still learning the trading trade, you're finding your feet, these would be the necessary guys I think we need to have on as well. And then let me know in the comments, guys, is there some guy, anybody you want to have brought back for educational content like we've did? We still have Captain Blackbeard booked for next week, Tuesday. So I'll make sure to hit the like, hit the notification, so that you know when we go live, because the guy has got some serious bombs and he wants to drop for free, pure free alpha that's going to see you through the bear market. There you go. Right, guys, just as a quick reminder, everything is brought to you compliments of Bybit. So support the content, support the channel, get your Bybit account. As simple as that. All right. And if you do so, I'll give you some buddy access. Let's talk about the buddy indicator. So now you're worrying and you're confused and you don't know what the hell the market's going to do. You don't need a lot of tools. You just need the buddy indicator. And all you need to do is say, well, I don't necessarily want to trade. I just want to track the momentum. Let me just show you how you can track the momentum for Bitcoin and for Zcash using the buddy indicator. So you've got the indicators. So hide all the trade strategies. Just give me the trend color to display the trend. That's all it does. So what buddy indicator will do, let me just switch it off. There's my candles all lined up in different colors. I'll go to a BTC chart that doesn't have a lot of TA on it. So let's use this. I think it's going to be a clean chart. There we go. Yeah, I can just delete those quick lines real quick. That's nice and fast. And then when you switch it on like that, it's going to override the colors, and it's going to give you blue for when it's going up, and it's going to give you orange for when it's going to go down. And the magic here is if you put a 4-hour candle on the right, and you put a 15-minute or a 10-minute, your scalping time frame on the left, all you need to do is the following. If the 4 hours orange, you use the 15-minute, 10-minute orange setups to enter the market. It's as simple as that. So when the candle flips orange, you don't even need to have the trade strategies on, guys. This is the easy trade with momentum setup. You have got no excuse to make money during this bear market. All you need to do is this: once it flips orange, it's a 3-candle rule, guys. It's as simple as that. 3 candles back, that's where your stop is. 1, 2, 3, boom. And then you stay with the move until it changes color. When it flips orange again, as long as the 4 hours orange, 3 candles back, 1, 2, 3, that's when your stop would be. You stay with the move until it flips orange. You don't get easier than this, guys. Now, when we're range bound, this kind of trading strategy will be a little bit frustrating, but then you will have the analysis on the 4 hour that will tell you that that is not the case. Okay, so that's the reality. And we can rewind this back and go through this until we're blue. Let's have a look at Zcash real quick. The same analysis, the same kind of move, and let's just see how it's going, So I've got Zcash tagged here. It should be in a green tag. Sorry, guys, I've got notes and all sorts of stuff here on the side. Well, not notes, but there we go. My watch list and stuff behind the camera. So it looks nice. Like I just know where everything is. But in any case, if we got Zcash. So 4-hour time frame, Zcash tells you that we're blue. We're blue. So what do? You go into your buddy indicator and you wait for the blue setups. Once it turns blue, 3-candle rule, 1, 2, 3, that's your stop. You stay in the blue until it switches orange. Okay, that's it. Where we're at right now, we just turned blue. 1, 2, 3, 3 candles below that, there's your stop, and you're currently riding that one. It's as simple as that. That's the easy way of getting access to some really good trading without it breaking bank. I know it's end of the bull market. Everybody says, well, I haven't made enough money. I have my hands up. I haven't made all the money that I wanted to have made. I wanted to buy 10 islands by now, and I'm still making YouTube videos because at the end of the day, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, however you would move it, nothing that we do can give us a 100% guarantee how the market's going to move. We measure the risk, we look at the odds, and we look at this from a statistical point of view in order not to get our fingers burned. Okay, now before we deep dive into some trend analysis, I'm going to head over to the comments, quickly see where you guys are at. Let me know how you're doing. I would love to know how you guys are doing. Jerry says, so much blood on the streets. Yes. Buy when there's blood on the streets. Just wait for them to stop shooting first, or else it's going to be your blood. And that's the frustration we're experiencing with Bitcoin right now. Because, I was hopeful. 89 is going to be a good level. And then 85, and now we went at 81. And so there's no good level for Bitcoin at the moment. It's just one of those things. The nice thing, however, a while back, for those that have been following along consistently with the videos, there was a time when I converted all my Bitcoin into Ethereum to try and get in on the big ETH move. So I'm going to open Ethereum daily chart for you guys. And it was roundabout, let's quickly see, this is Bitcoin, sorry, let me just click on the ETH daily chart. And it was sitting at around these levels over, these levels over here. I was looking to get in on ETH for the continuation of momentum. Bitcoin was still looking really strong. We had hidden bullish divergence. A lot happened, and then the market just fell through the floor over the weekend, and it just kicked my ass. And I held my ETH. So all my Bitcoin was ETH at that stage. I held through, and when we got to this area, I said, thank goodness, back to Bitcoin. Which frustratingly meant that at this stage, I rode the Bitcoin wave to the upside, and ETH for this move from around 2.5 to 4 gave you a little bit more dollar earnings gains than Bitcoin did. But then subsequently, I was still sitting in a situation where now I have less Bitcoin because of this move. Not a lot, but still significantly less. Having been so lucky to stick to my game plan and selling Bitcoin at 125 on my spot, very risky. I explained to you guys many times. There's videos. Guys, confirm whether this is BS. Okay. I explained to you guys that this could age badly because we're doing that. We were sitting with divergence on divergence. So I'm going to just bring up the daily time, the weekly time frame. And the frustrating thing that I had is that every rally going up now was met with very little or lessening momentum. And because of that, that's why I took that bet and said, okay, right, let's get out. Now, at this stage where we're sitting right now, I have 35% more BTC if I were to buy back now. See how easy it is to farm more when you're in the bear market. So what you try and do is when you're in the bull market, you don't try and farm for more coins. You try and stay in the market because time spent in the market outperforms anything. But when we're moving into this area, that's when you really want to try and stay out of the market so that you can farm for more coins. Being a bear doesn't make you bad, doesn't make you the enemy for what crypto was intended or trying to be for us. The retail access to trading and so forth. Being a bear is not being the enemy to all that is trading. Being a bear is actually a bullish signal because it says that you believe in Bitcoin enough that you understand selling it now won't break the bloody thing, as well as then allow you the opportunity to have more for the longer term. Now, there is some uncertainty with MicroStrategy and the stuff around that. I am not up to speed with that. Peter actually sent me a tweet a little bit earlier regarding that. Let's quickly see, let's open the tweet real quick. And I would suggest, guys, go and read through this. Thanks, Peter. This is from, I don't know, the person. Peter, you probably follow that guy. And I'll probably need to check it out. But mark around this area, and I will try and see if I can get Vinny on, which is really knows what's cooking here regarding MicroStrategy and so forth. So to explain this, because there is some cautions, if MicroStrategy fails, this might be our Luna or our Celsius from the previous bull market highs. Remember those DeFis, it's never going to fail, it's always going to be great, and so forth. These are things that we have to take note of, and being out of the market instead of hoping for change is the better trade to be in regarding this for Bitcoin. Now, the flip side, the other side of this is when we look at Zcash. And a lot of what is happening with Zcash right now, in my opinion, I don't think it's going to go to 10K, everybody's saying, but is that money is now fleeing. People are selling their bags, dumping the stuff, because, I mean, it's a red. It's a red everywhere. Do I have a screener somewhere here that I can quickly bring up? I don't have a screener open. Let's see if I can find one. Do I have one? Should have one here. There we go. There's my screener. It's red. It's red. It's red. It's a horrible place to be. So what's cooking? The one little green ball of hope, Zcash. Okay. So at the end of the day, that is money cycling out of all of this now, trying to look for some hope in there. And the best thing that you can do for yourself is to, this is now two sides. As a trader, it's to say if you want to be a bull in Zcash. But as a hodler, is to not try and change this into that. Say, my Celestia bags have never performed well, Mantles never performed well, and all these coins are just burning me, and then sell that and buy Zcash. Because what will happen then, if you weren't adept enough to exit these at the right time, you won't have the opportunity to exit Zcash at the right time. So then you're going to have double dip into this. You're going to have them riding you down, and then when Zcash eventually drops, it's also going to ride you down, and it's going to compound the pain even more so. So just take note of that, guys. Okay. Peter is bringing up a comment. Let's see. Peter, bring up that comment, please. Let's quickly see what is it. What we had exactly 1 year ago was the last alt season. How weak it even was. The crypto bubble is over. No one wants and needs crypto. That's the fact. Yo, Christoph, you breaking my spirits here, man. You can't say stuff like that. No, but at the end of the day, bubbles do pop. I think the reality is, with what's happened with crypto, in all fairness, is as follows. People became complacent by holding alts, meaning, the market, it's the simplest way to explain it is, we are all level-headed, like-minded individuals watching the streams. About 256 people watching between YouTube and Twitter. Give me a solid, do a like. Yeah, while you're at that, please. It will help the content. We're all like-minded, especially because we're all like-minded. We're faced with the same information. Previous bull markets had amazing alt seasons. You could pretty much buy any shitcoin and at some stage it's going to pump, and so forth and so forth. Our actions was aligned to doing just that. So you get in on some of the alts and you say, that's it. Now, my mantle, give you an example, from Crypto Banter days, I was lucky to get a pre-market allocation. And when we got to break even, I sold that allocation. And that's it, because it just didn't do what I wanted it to do. Now, the flip side is, if at that stage I was hoping Mantle went to $2, I kind of missed out a little bit on that. But the flip side around that is because the sentiment is that it's just a little bit of time and alt season will typically come. That is why most people are trapped in these coins. Now, to get to the point that I'm trying to make, if the reality is like-minded individuals acts the same way, the other side of this is we are the manipulation. So if you try and stop blaming some institution that's constantly winning, because they're also fighting other institutions, they're not constantly winning. If you think of it like this and say, as a collective, we manipulated price. And how did we do this as a collective? If every one of us buys one of these coins, and we take it and we hold it in our bag, The fact that we have it, we cannot have any more impact on whether it's going to go up. We did buy it already. What it was what it was. And why would we buy any of these coins? It's because we think that it's going to go up. But the financial markets don't move that way. Think of them as an investment vehicle. It's the best analogy that I can find for this. If you go buy a brand new BMW on the showroom floor, a year from now, the value will be less. Everybody agrees with that. It's simple. It's no longer a new car, and so forth and so forth. And there's a newer, better version that has more appeal. That's the reason as well. But if you go buy an AC Cobra or a 1981 911, what were the Widowmakers, one of those Porsches, where you're at a year later is at a higher price. Why? Because that thing has already been appreciating in value. Now, what a lot of these coins did, and we can maybe use some of them as a good example. Let's click on Kronos as example. I want to try and open. Let's bring up the entire price action. Let's do it like this. This is links, the first thing I can click on. Now, what a lot of these coins were is it was sitting in a situation where this was a price for it. Link was at $50. So the assumption is we're going to buy, and then it's just going to go up and go even higher. And now here's the catch. Everybody bought and held. And the guys that bought here was still in profit, great. But most of the guys bought Link late in any case. So they didn't sell because the trend showed them previous cycles round. Okay, so you're down, it's fine. Just wait, it will go higher. And for that reason, it didn't play out, because our actions is what creates our future reality. That's it. So if we look at this from that point of view, and we can accept responsibility for this, the end of the day, we now understand that, okay, next time round, you have to have not just a HODL, because it's not a strategy. The market has actually matured. So the point that I'm trying to make is, yes, the crypto bubble might be over, but this is good because, Christoph, what it does is it gives us a maturing crypto market now. It tells us the good will actually now go up, like the good cars to invest in, like the Porsches, the stuff that's proven themselves. So coins that didn't do bad, Link didn't fall below previous market lows. Good example of that. Ethereum Classic. Let's have a look at Ethereum Classic on that same picture. This is now Bybit, sorry, so it won't have all the info. Let's look for one. We can maybe use DOT as an example. Okay. DOT launched. It was $300 when it launched, and then they deflated it to $3. And where we're at right now, we're below launch price. So that is a BMW. Had amazing everything, and now it's no longer there. It's not appreciating over time. It's not a good investment, and that's the reality. So does this mean that its time will come? No. We need more cars to BMWs of the version to now break. We need them to get written off, and then we need the train to come back and say, hey, this is cool again. And then the few that have DOT, they will then have their moment in the sun in the future again, probably, if DOT doesn't die along the road. DOT didn't feature at all. It was the biggest deal with its parachains and its beautiful websites, everything back in the day. And that's the reality. So yes, we have to take responsibility, because the DOT holders, they necessarily didn't sell all their DOT because they know it's going to be another alt season. And because of that, there wasn't any buying to push the price back up. Okay. So good point, Christoph. Really good point. What I said might piss you off if you're in drawdowns through this guy. But at the end of the day, guys, we're not here to mess around. We want to make money. That's it. Okay. So there you have it. Okay. What about Bitcoin Cash? Let's talk about Bitcoin Cash. So Bitcoin Cash for me is a strong performer on the BTC pairing. Remember now, just don't lose the context of why I shared the chart with you guys. So I'm going to go Bitcoin Cash, and I'm going to go to the BTC pairing. And there's a couple of these coins, and you can do this yourself by going through the coins. Okay, so let me just get my Bitcoin Cash BTC chart. There we go. If you zoom out, this is weekly time frame. Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin. Weekly time frame, what have we been doing? Okay. There was resistance. There was resistance. There was support, sorry. And we have reclaimed that area. So in an appreciative way, okay, Bitcoin Cash now, since January this year, has outperformed Bitcoin. It's appreciating at a higher rate than Bitcoin. Now, because it's BTC pairing, Bitcoin going down 40% meant that this one went down 35%. So this chart looks very nice in that point of view, but you're still down on dollars. But it's outperformed Bitcoin for an entire year. And from a Wyckoff point of view, when we look at the accumulation, so let me bring up an accumulation image. Let's see, maybe that would be the one. Fingers crossed. It's there. Hey, lucky me. Clicked on the right. So if you look at this from an accumulation, we can say schematic number 1, schematic number 2. Let's just use that simple stuff. 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, it's going to be either one of these. If we then do that and we look at where Bitcoin Cash is according to how it's performing against Bitcoin, we've now had the preliminary stop, which means the market kind of stalls down and holds on to its momentum. Wyckoff actually called these events. That's 9 events that it needs to go through. And what I did in the past when I was still very eager chartist, okay, is I would normally have these call out and then I'll have the events all marked up there. So you have your preliminary support. And there's a little write-up from the textbook as a reminder to myself. What am I needing to look for? Okay, so you have your preliminary support. Then you have your second point then. And then that would be your selling climax. I said this once on Crypto Banter, and talking climax stuff kind of changed the trend of the discussion too much. But there's the climax, the end of the selling pressure. From that point onwards, the market is going to do what? It's going to go and have an automatic rally. So it's a low volume rally because the market's exhausted. So what do? You have your low volume rally pertaining to where we were there, okay? Low volume rally. And then that automatic rally, then we'll have a secondary test, confirming in the resistance. This ends phase 1. So which means from a Wyckoff point of view, now you're done with phase 1. We're done being bearish. Great. Thank you. Now you need your secondary test at the range lows. Why? Because now we need to confirm whether we're in a lateral range. That takes you to your secondary test phase B start. So there's a whole textbook write-up on how that works again and. But from that point onwards, we're range bound. So what you're going to have is you're going to have your upper threshold of the liquidity being created, meaning your sell zone. And you're going to have your lower threshold of the liquidity now being created from there. I'm sorry, let me just put it in there to there. Okay. And that would be your buy zone. Wyckoff doesn't call it sell and buy zone. They call it your supply. They call it your demand. There we go. And as the market goes through these cycles, you will have your last little shakeout before you do what? In your phase B. That's typically a little pump and dump at resistance. That resistance is the axis. So normally that will be in the middle of the range. So if you look at where support was there, support was lost, you can see they're in the middle of the range. And that is normally the cue that I say, right, if we do this now, we're going to leave the bottom of the range, create the shakeout. So let's quickly end our phase B. Now you're going to create your shakeout, which is your phase C. And then from that point onwards, the key here is you need to have your trend within a range. Meaning this is now your axis. Let me just mark this out as the axis. Now you have your trend within a range. And then there's 3 places you need to accumulate this. So Wyckoff says it's a backwards looking strategy, meaning you first have to make sure that all these events play out. And then forward, as we're going forward, you're looking to accumulate. And what do? You accumulate. You buy a little bit here. Then you have, hopefully, the range recaptured. And then when you do that, once you get above the axis, you buy again. Okay? And that's typically your sign of strength, your second buying opportunity. So this would be your first buying opportunity. So let me just bring that down. That's your up thrust or your shakeout test. Okay, there that is. And then this forms part of your last point of supply. You move out, you take the supply out, you come back as a sign of strength, and then you'll have your third buying. So you buy a little bit here, you buy a little bit there, you buy a little bit there. Now I categorize this. Okay, I categorize this in the Discord for you guys. Simple. In the HODL guide, by the categorizations, buying into weakness, managing your bags, selling into strength. And if you click on those things, you will be able to know how to act regarding this. And within the Discord, when we look at alts and we want to accumulate these spot bags, I just give the guys a list of these, all the coins fall in category A, A2, A3, and so forth. And then you can manage that. And that's how we got out of the highs, because for the same way we're going to do it, you need to sell, which is the distribution side. So to close this picture off, this is how this is playing out on the BTC pairing. So the crazy mind in me saying, well, let's bring back alt season. Let's make crypto great again, Christoph. Hopefully we can do that. By saying that, this time around, because we had institutional adoption for Bitcoin, we had laws being written in for Bitcoin, there was a lot that happened around Bitcoin. And then some spot ETFs on altcoins and so forth. But Bitcoin played the major role for crypto at this stage. We saw that Bitcoin has moved up. But if you think of this from the retailer's point of view, Bitcoin did really well, but it was never on anybody's menu to own Bitcoin. You say, you're in crypto? Yes. Do you own Bitcoin? No, I want all these alts because they're going to go 20,000x up. Okay. And what happened was, because they were in the alts, there was no more new buyers there for those alts. And we had a situation that Bitcoin performed really well and they didn't. Now, what's going to happen? What's the no-brainer next move on your agenda saying next bull cycle? Because we did the time analysis and for months I've said wait until October and sell. I said this for months. Time analysis, now we're moving and we're testing these lows. I didn't make this chart up, guys. I just played the game plan, okay? So now we're sitting in a situation where probably this range-bound environment is going to see what? The alts like Bitcoin Cash mature, build strength so that by August next year, which is the time where we'll probably see our next bottom for Bitcoin, meaning chop around. These altcoins will probably have matured and be ready for an alt cycle, maybe not an alt season, an alt cycle, where Big Daddy Bitcoin will probably go maybe 150 this time round. But the alts will have their moment. The good ones will have their moment to go and test range highs. Good ones like Ethereum, that's still range bound, Solana, that's still range bound, Bitcoin Cash, that's showing some early signs. And that's why I don't want to be too pessimistic or negative regarding this. The fact that you allow yourself to be a bear right now is a really good thing, because it will allow you to get the bargains for the next run to the upside. And therein lies the power. Okay, so let's quickly then finish off the stream, because it's been a long one. And I really hope, Christoph, and for anybody else, that it really just changes your perspective, because sometimes we can get trapped on the fact that, look at those horrendous candles, shit's about to get even bad. And yes, maybe MicroStrategy fails. Maybe we need that. Every bear market comes with something that gets broken. so that we can be better next time round. DeFi was the big leading cause for the previous bear market. DeFi didn't do anything wrong this time around, okay? So next time around, we'll probably have that situation where, okay, maybe we can look at DeFi again. Those coins will do what we want them to do, okay? So, yeah, there we go. I'm going to quickly browse through the comments, and then we'll look at Zcash in great depth, and then we'll... we'll end off the stream. So let's see, Peter, anything that is worth having a look at now? Let's see. It says, Mr. Fish. Hello, could you please help me understand how to buy a chart like Pengu? Chart straight down, flushing airdrop retails, ETF coming soon, and divergence, how to buy straight down. You don't. It's a straight up answer. You don't. Never try and catch a falling a knife here, because it's probably going to hurt you for longer than you can. That's what's happening with Bitcoin right now. We're all trying to buy the bottom, then your stops just kind of drive the price down. Let the thing calm down. Use this Wyckoff system that I've just shown you on Bitcoin Cash to buy the bottom, meaning wait for the thing to calm down, go through these phases. And then once you see the phase C and it starts stepping up, reclaiming support level, that's when you buy. And here's the nice thing. Between where the shakeout happens and where the initial stop happens, that's normally where you have strong bullish divergence, meaning the RSI won't be at the same level as there. Let's see if this is the case. Click on the RSI. Boom. There's your divergence. Okay. And there's confluential tools that you then can use for this. So that's what you do. That's how you grab your Pengu buy. So I don't need to do the same analysis again. You now have the tools and the power at your discretion to utilize on Pengu and any other thing. So what I'll do is I'll just open the chart. Let me just get to the memes section on my list. Pengu, there's Pengu. And now you immediately know what needs to happen. Now there's tricks and cheats that I've shown you guys. And so if you just use this flip setting there, it's like trading patterns. It's a cheat for what was a double bottom, what was an accumulation shakeout, head and shoulders, those kind of things. So those are just cheats and hacks. So there's another one. When you're within these levels, consider accumulating. But wait for this thing to do the same thing, which is not done yet. It's too young. It's not matured enough for you to call it an appreciating asset, to say that it's going to be that 911 that's going to keep growing in value. This is still probably just a BMW or a Toyota for that matter. It's not a collectible item just yet. So treat it like that. We want it to be great, but maybe you have to wait longer and hopefully, I hope it doesn't die, before that happens. Change that. Start giving us the lateral range. Start going through the motions of an accumulation. Then you buy. So I hope that helps you, Mr. Fish. Okay. Nice to have you on the stream as always, buddy. Mario, 11 November, I should have sold everything and enjoyed my short. Buddy, I screwed myself out of my short halfway down. So, I mean, we all have regrets. Oh, you're this genius trader. I'm not a genius trader. It's hard work. You make mistakes. It's a hustle. You keep doing at it. That's why there's a Discord community, guys, because we need each other to lean on sometimes and just to kind of call ourselves on our bullshit. And you want to join that community, there's a 50% Christmas discount on the price, guys. Once off, lifetime, which means you can learn at your own pace. You don't have that chasing problem with a monthly subscription and so forth. You're in, you're there. You get everything, all the tools I do, all the videos, all the reports and everything that goes with that weekly. So you get the HODL report. This was yesterday's report. We look at all the various coins and we categorize the stuff. You get the trading report as well that goes with that, the market tactics streams, where we have a look at the markets. We look at where the trading direction is going to be, all the information you would need and so forth, with all the tools and tricks and stuff of what you should be looking out for and so forth. So all of that helps staying on the right side. And like I said, I've been trying, like the guys, to try and tag that bottom on the scalp side, and Bitcoin has been biting my ass for that. Trade in harmony with the trend. We make mistakes. Okay, I'm not perfect, but because we are a community, we can get through this together. Okay. There we go. Let's continue onwards. Let's see if there's any more comments. I really appreciate the comment, man. You're awesome for watching and awesome for participating. I really like it. Thanks, buddy. Smashed, absolutely wrecked this 4-year cycle. Should have bought Bitcoin and nothing else, no stress. You see, Mark, and that's exactly the point that I'm making. Because we're like-minded individuals, and we can look at this and say, wrong chart. We can look at this and say, I should have just done that. You know what you're going to do next time? Just that. Because we're reactionary. We're going to look at the thing and say, well, I should have just. So, honey, next time it's just Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin's not going to make the money. That's how this previous alt season, this move, kind of got me. Because I was in all the bloody alts when Bitcoin did this, and the alts didn't do well. This is now 2019 rally. And then the alts dumped, and then, I said, I'm going to get in Bitcoin. And yes, Bitcoin did well, but it's in this move where we had the insane alt season. And it's because of this, I missed out on a lot of that. So I've learned to say, well, because of this, if I was on the wrong side, it's okay. Doesn't necessarily mean I need to change. Maybe you shouldn't change. Maybe you were just early. You're never going to know. Right. Let's see what else we have. What should I do with my HODL? Oh, sorry, Peter, you brought it up and now I ticked on it again. With my HODL out. HODL, sell, and take the loss. Liesel, as always, what we cannot do is give each other financial advice. I'm not a registered financial advisor. I do not know what is your circumstances. I'm looking at you through a little lens. And at the end of the day, let's be honest, you know the big picture of where you are. You understand where you are financially and so forth. So that's why this is educational. I'm trying giving you guys the tools and everything that comes with what it is you need to make an informed decision that you, in the end of the day, can live with, because it's on you, completely on you. So what would I do with an alt that is underwater? I think I had like $500 of Celestia. I'll talk you through what I'll do with Celestia, and then let's use that as a plausible idea what you should do. Okay. So I'm going to quickly just load up Celestia. Now, I bought these coins, and the deal was double your money, sell half, let the rest ride. Remember that? I didn't deviate from that. So we bought Celestia, I think at $1 something around there. Where was this? This is July 2025. No, it's this pump over here, somewhere there. It was $1 something. No, it was somewhere in here. So I bought there, somewhere there, and we rode up. And now I've got free Celestia. Celestia's falling. The trend is bearish, and I've been saying to you guys, don't buy Celestia. I don't want you guys to pump my bags. At the end of the day, you don't have enough money to pump my bags, and that's the reality, okay? Because we as a collective are stronger than one individual, okay? And I don't have enough collective individuals on this call to even do something like this remotely. But at the end of the day, jokes aside, now let's have a look at Celestia. I'm just going to scale this quickly to a daily time frame and say to myself, the market moves in a way that it becomes predictable. That's what technical analysis, risk management, spotting what is predictable and trying to exploit that. Switch to a line tool. Forget about the wicks and the noise. Take away the RSI. Let's just look at this thing clean, price action wise. Every massive sell-off at some stage will get tested. Every massive sell-off at some stage will get tested. Every massive sell-off at some stage will get tested. Every massive sell-off at some stage will get tested. Every massive sell-off at some stage will get tested. The problem, however, is that when we experience these massive sell-offs, psychologically, this is the part that you do. I don't want to take the loss, because by taking the loss, I'm saying to myself, I was wrong. But trading and investing is not about being wrong. It's not about taking what works in the real world, adapting to your business, and your life and, you know, those kind of things. It's about doing the opposite of that, because remember, we're like-minded individuals. We think alike, and therefore, in order to outperform us yourself, you need to do the opposite of what you would instinctively be the thing. So looking at this, immediately we start painting hope. Yes, but the next rally could go to that imbalance over there because Rudo said something on the chart, and I'm going to hang on to that sentence because that is what I want. And the next analysis, somebody on Twitter is saying something. I mean, we've got a new tracker in the channel I'm testing. It's quite a nifty little tool in the Discord. It's not made publicly visible. I will make sure that it's publicly visible because it's free content. So you guys can, it filters, you know, all the KOLs and gives you the TA related tweets, not the good mornings and all the other stuff. So it's a nifty channel that you can just keep in the back of your head. And you see stuff like this where the guys are now applying TA. To get to the point, you're going to look for whatever it is you want to see, and then you're going to go back to your chart, and then you're going to say, oh, hopefully that. And all I'm saying is don't do that. Look at this thing from a pragmatic point of view. This trend will probably trend indefinitely until it stops. And when it does, it will climb up these steps just like it fell down the steps. And you want to be acting from a point of strength, saying, I understand the position I'm in. Screw the outlook because I cannot know what the future will do. All I have is now, and the best choice I have now is to sell the retest. This is a massive trap. You know, it happens. Oh, I sold the retest. Now I'm buying support, and then goes and falls back down. Shit like that happens. It's never going to be a perfect picture. But in all fairness, when it does change around, you know what it's going to do? It's going to reclaim this level and stay above the level, giving you an opportunity to buy back if this was you selling at the last test and now it's the one that goes up, because we're always scared that that's going to be the case. Maybe now if I sell this time, it's the one that breaks through and, oh, I don't want to buy because every time I act, I'm doing the wrong thing. So now I'm losing confidence in myself. I don't trust myself. I'm charting my own performance like this. And now I don't want to buy in on me, which is the worst thing to do. Buy in on yourself. You're good at this. Everybody's good at this. We just need to take the noise away from everybody else and understand the simplistic nature of the markets. Okay? Simplistic nature. Go to the HODL guide. Read through the HODL guide. This is how simple it really is, guys. Okay, there you have it. That's it. There's everything for today. 42 minutes in, guys. Thanks so much for taking time. Where do you see the breaks on this move? Oh, that's a tough question. I'm going to give my best guess. Now, I still need to have a look at Zcash, guys. Let's just look at Zcash first before I answer that one in greater depth. Let's load up Zcash. Just saw it. Where did I put it? There we go. Zcash, look at this chart. Oh, amazing. All right. Let's go back to the line tool. This was a 4-hour analysis. And I'm going to give you the opportunity now to train for the next bottom and train for the next top so that you can, just like I did, get out of Bitcoin considering the risks. No guarantees, no financial advice, making up a decision based on the momentum. Because we understand now, we all want to hope, we all want to hold on to that hope. So our job is to be a contrarian at the right time, understanding when to, you know, punish people for being hopeful, greedy, fearful. Okay. Now, RSI is your best friend because what it's going to do is going to start showing you when momentum runs out. And it's going to show you, and you don't need a lot. You can easily pick up these pivots. Remember, you want to be able to look back at the past to predict the future for yourself. And I say predict. The real world would be to look at the probabilities of what's going to happen. Okay. At that point, all you're doing is you're going and you're smacking a line on these highs. Keep it simple for now because you're trying to just find your feet. So that is areas where the price is pivoting in changing direction. Forget about the candles right now. Just looking at the RSI. Now, when you go to the candles, what you want to do is just switch to closing price. Yet again, takes the noise away because there will be liquidations of wicks. There's leverage traders trying their hand. There's a lot of noise always related to this. And all you're saying to yourself, something that's good, strong, when it creates divergence like this, stays above that point, we've lost it. Then we did it again. Higher high, below that point. We've lost it. So this is so far away from being bullish in that regard. Now, yes, the TA can be such a bitch. Because now you can say, oh, but there's a triangle there, and then 65% of the chance is going to break to the upside, and you would be right. But the momentum is saying that all the hope is fleeing to this now, and it's not enough anymore to keep the momentum going. That's all that it's saying to you. So you can measure the risk accordingly. That was what was fundamentally, and from a mindset point of view, something that makes sense. This thing is going up and it's fueling. It's showing you that the momentum is gone. That's it. Now you know how to act accordingly. Take this now and go back to Bitcoin on the weekly. Just a kind reminder of how we navigated our Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. We were looking at the same RSIs. We were looking at the same levels. And all that we did, come on, click the right one. There we go. Oops. Oh, I was on the weekly. So let's switch to the weekly time frame and bring back the, I will leave it at that so you can see it. There was the divergences, one after each other. There was the levels. See? Good. We're above that momentum. Good. We're above that momentum. There we lost it. All she wrote. Okay, there you have it. There's Zcash. Now, to the last question I was going to say. What the hell are we going to do with Bitcoin, and how's this move going to impact? Now, it's a tricky thing at this stage, if I'm going to be honest with you. And a 4-hour analysis might be valid for the next day or so, and then the weekend comes and it changes perspective. So take what I'm saying with the right context, because the weekly stuff is for the HODL and the big picture stuff. But as soon as we're going to look at the small to try and identify this, things can change in a nutshell. Things can change like this, okay? So just a kind reminder, guys, about 420 some odd people joining in live right now. Do me a solid, hit the like, hit the retweet on Twitter. I saw some Twitter comments coming through now. Sometimes they're not. I don't know where we are. But yes, all the Twitter guys, twee buffels, smeet gewoon doodgeskiet vond. Goeie ene. Well done. So all the guys joining in, do a solid, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let's build a community together. Let's get the people just to act responsibly with the information, not telling them, what would be. That's the part we want to try and be. So let's get to this BTC on the far. So it's the same analysis, guys. Yes, there you go, Afi. There you can comment live. Awesome, buddy. He's one of the lifetime members in the Discord, by the way. So I don't know if it takes the credibility or adds credibility to what I do. You guys decide. But Afi, nevertheless, the guy can hustle. I love the guy. Okay. Looking at Bitcoin right now, I'm going to say I don't know. But I'm going to use the TA to show the risk and look for the momentum to shift. So we had a situation on these lows, and I acted on them, where the momentum potentially was giving me a bottom. Okay, bring in the RSI. We're looking at, strong bullish divergence. Let me just switch to the closing prices. Good. What does price need to do? Needs to reclaim that level. Okay, it did, but then it lost it again. Oops. Oh, bad. So hope was there, and then it didn't. Now, funny enough, we shorted 114, and it ended up being the trade for me for this term. I just messed up there. And the reason is it's just personal stuff. Nothing wrong with my setups. I was too in it. I've got this now. And then I kind of fucked it up myself. But there we are. Yet again, what do? We make a low. We make a lower low on price, or a weak bullish divergence. And the RSI is there again. And now we're saying, okay, right, this is going to go up. Well, in order for this to go up, we need to reclaim that level. We did. So it went up. When it got to these highs, we had hidden bearish divergence. So The no-brainer in me is just sell the bloody thing. That's short. That's what we did. And I did. But like I said, I fucked up somewhere there. I was very angry with myself. And where we're at right now, we're trying to look for the lows, but you can see there's no divergence, guys. There's no stopping this thing. So when is it going to end? When you give me divergence and you reclaim a level again, that's the end. Until then, trade the thing short. And the rule is we had divergence ever so last night, middle of the night, we're bringing the candles. We had it there. There was the divergence. Oh, those 2 points. And I was hoping, but the trick with this is when you cross the red line, you think more. And that's what we did in this morning's market tactics video that I gave the guys. Pointed out to that. It's very simple. Let's see. 17 minutes in. I'm just going to click on it. Let's see how it happens if I open a YouTube while we're on a YouTube. So I'm just going to mute the bloody thing, pause the thing, and then go about 17 minutes in. Pause, mute, and 17 minutes in. Let's see where we're at. There. And the argument was just that. From that point in there, we want this thing to go short. Because we're crossing that red line, that was the explanation. We're going to just dump a little bit lower because there's nothing bullish about it. Those support levels, we rejected at the divergence. It's over. That's it. Okay. Guys, you can join the group as well. I don't want to turn this into a sales pitch as well, but you're more than welcome to join the group using WAP as well. And go see for yourself. Try it out first before you commit. Like most of the guys do. Everybody that, well, statistically, 60% of the people that go for 1 month upgrade to lifetime after that. There's a stat. Have a lovely weekend, guys. Point and figure tool for this is saying we're bearish. We trade bearish until it stops. There's just a little bit of confluence to that. And that's it. Okay. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely weekend. This afternoon, there will be Twitter Spaces as well. I host those spaces in my Discord as well in the live community, so you guys can grab it there. Go and check out the tracker channel. I'll have that available for everybody. You see, maybe there's some value in there, finding a filter on all the tweets out there. And that's it. Thanks so much for all your support during the whole year, guys. You know, I mean, this community has been growing slowly but surely. You know, when it's slow, let it grow. When it's fast, it won't last. You know, and I really want to say appreciation to each and every one of you guys for joining in live, checking out the streams, watching the recordings, throwing the comments. I have been dropping the ball. I will make sure to reply to the comments on the YouTube channels and so forth. You know, and thanks to each and every one of you guys. You know, you're amazing. The next cycle will be amazing. And if you feel like you haven't done what your utmost potential suggests you should have done, know that you're not alone, because we all go through those emotions. If you're in drawdown, make the tough decisions. A compromised choice now leads to compromised options going forward. If you take what you're doing from a point of strength leading forward, your next decision will be better. It means that you need to break the cycle once, and then from that time, build onto that. As soon as you keep on compromising going forward, options diminishes. And that's the tough side of where you are if you're in the drawdown and if you're feeling it right now, guys. So look at that, think about that, make the informed decision, educate yourself, and all that information, all the education I have pre-recorded is available at no cost to you guys in the Discord. So go and have a look at those videos. See what it is that's missing in your arsenal. Add to that, build to that. And I wish you guys a lot of success. Everybody complains they're late to a bull market. Everybody gets to be early to a bear. There's a lot of money to be had, guys. It's an amazing time. Look at it from that perspective. Let's capitalize going forward. Have a great weekend. Cheers.